Facebook, and believe it or not, I think it's wonderful. We get about 60 to 70,000 people tuning into the radio feed every week through KUHSdenver.com. So I'm thrilled about that. There's the show. Welcome to the WTF.
Wow, I love this song.
Yeah, I started out with Baby Love. I decided, all the talks about Republican pedophiles, like Baby Love. It's dedicated to them. I dedicate this to you.
Great music you've got going on.
This music today is a killer. It really is. It's going to be a lot of fun. The show's going to be a lot of fun. I fell and hit my head this week. I fell, and actually, my feet went up. It was like one of those things you'd laughed at, except it was you, because it really sucked. I fell back, hit my head on the ice, no blood up here, and then I had to go give a speech. I was on my way to give a speech, and I don't know what I said. I walked in, I was like...
And a lot of people like slapstick, and I don't like slapstick that much. So somebody falls and hurts themselves.
I think it's funny if they fall in a puddle of water and they don't actually hit their head. Or when people,
a shark comes out.
Or when people drive by and they get this covered with the water. I think that's pretty funny to do that. But, yeah, and it's so funny because I do it all the time. I fall all the time. It's like...
You fall for guys?
Yeah. No, I just fall. I didn't think I wouldn't because I'm very athletic and I ski.
You're an athlete.
I just chuckle.
Tell us about it.
Okay, those are the worst hurts.
Well, let's talk about that.
I fell down.
Come on.
No, here's what happened to me. I fell down and hit my head, and I got up and I was a Republican. I don't know if it knocked, depending on which side of the aisle you are, either knocked sense into me or it made me crazy. I don't know which one. Neither, huh? It was pretty bad. And I was like, oh my God, so I couldn't ski this week because my head was too messed up. And I'm going up to Copper for 3 days next week, so I'm kind of hoping that everything is settled down. I'm going to head up to Copper Mountain.
Did you see stars when you went?
I didn't see anything. I went black.
Did you?
Yeah. It was just, and then I didn't know where I was.
Oh, was somebody around?
Somebody came up. They said they heard my head hit. They were like a parking lot lane away. They were like an aisle away, and they said, and when I came to this woman who was looking at me, and I said, what? And she goes, we heard your head hit from our car over there. I said, that's the hardest part.
And they pulled out their cameras.
Yeah, they're like taking pictures. And it's on somebody's Facebook page.
They were live.
Look at this old lady.
Look at that live feed and stuff. That's what people do.
I was saying earlier, one of the most embarrassing things in my life, I have this daughter that's nuts. I would like to blame it on her father, but she actually has a personality like mine. And one day I'm in the grocery store, and the store, I should go, I should stop that. And swallow it, there you go.
You didn't swallow it. No, if you blow up. That's
shut up. It doesn't blow bubbles. Crazy. Anyway, that's the dumbest thing I heard. I have to remember that. Anyway, I'm in the grocery store, and this woman comes up, this woman's kid that's like 20 or 7, I don't know, they all look the same, so those young kids, comes up to me and goes, oh my God, you're the Snapchat mom. I said, what? And she goes, you're the funniest person ever. I said, what are you talking about? It turns out my daughter would come and piss me off on purpose, and then she'd make videos of it and put it up on Snapchat. Or when we're driving her back to college and singing in the car and doing like this, and she would take pictures and put them up on Snapchat
and expose you.
And expose me. Anything I did that she thought was funny. Like she'd come to me and say, "Mom, try to say this," and it'd be some jargon that the kids say today, some hip hop song beat, and she'd say, "Try to do this," and I'd do it. And she was filming it, and then she put it up on Snapchat. So I was actually, Snapchat mom, and I didn't know it until somebody in the store told me. I was like, okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, kid. Really appreciate
I've had that a lot. Some people will do a secret video of you and then pop it up there or a secret photo of you and pop it up online.
My kids were notorious for that.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God.
That's the last time. I came out of the bathtub naked and put something like that on.
Well, I'm going, well, really. That's okay as long as I didn't magnify it. It's fine.
That hurt.
Oh no, it hurt. It hurt.
It hurt.
Oh, so I'm coming here today, and I had to go to a baby shower. So I was here this morning doing the show, and then I went to a baby shower. I drank 4 drinks in an hour because just the memory of having children at home drove me to drink. I was like, oh God, don't do it. Is there still time?
Can I go back and change this?
Oh God, yeah. And so I went to the shower, and then I came back here. And I started remembering, somebody asked me at the shower, how long did it take you to lose your baby weight? And I said, about 27 years.
Baby weight. What's baby?
That's when you gain the weight from being pregnant, and they say it'll go away right afterwards. But
does it?
I put away in 27 years. Yeah, it took me 27 years to lose the weight.
Good God, yeah, I feel for women because they go through all these trials and tribulations of gaining weight. They have mood swings. Their body can go through a death. They can almost die from having a
See
child.
what songs are.
And it's like,
we just had Diana Ross, and then we have Waterloo. Yep, ABBA, and let's see what we got here. I love the music today. It's awesome.
I feel bad as a man.
Afternoon Delight, Starlight Band. Okay, Afternoon Delight, Henry. It's Afternoon Delight. What now? I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Yes.
You ever watch Rosanna Dana?
Rosanna Dana.
Remember her?
Yeah, she's a little damn like either. I used to love her.
I did too.
You know what else I loved? Howard Cosell. I loved him.
There we go. The Denver Broncos.
That's right.
Everybody hated him in Denver.
I know they hated him.
That's
Howard Cosell here.
He would use all these big words to describe the touchdown or to describe something.
I know. It's like, what? No, I like
the inevitable just happened.
The inevitable just happened. John Elway. I mean, he was so funny. I liked him. What a character. How long is he? He's dead, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, because I haven't heard that kind of voice in a while.
What other voices are out there that are pretty good?
Oh gosh. Oh well, of course Harry Carey was phenomenal at the Cubs. Was the Cubs?
Yes.
Yeah. We had a lot of good sports today, though. I think everybody's kind of cookie cutter.
Yeah, that's right. They're just except on KUHS.
Well, of course.
We've got. Have you taken?
We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Have you taken a look at the? No, really. Have you taken a look at the talent that's here in the variables?
Oh, I know. It's
the variables are
talent. You got all kinds of talent. Then you have me.
What breaks up the monotony?
Like, put that girl in. You don't know what the hell she's doing. It's like, okay. What?
But you did well. We've got to talk about Ted Bundy.
Oh, the Ted Bundy interview. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a Ted Bundy interview.
Not an interview with Ted Bundy. And I didn't date Ted Bundy. People are like, Facebook, did you date him? I'm like, no. But I married a guy that was really similar.
It was for the news.
It was for the news. Well, they wanted to talk to somebody old enough to remember Ted Bundy and would be about the same age as the victims. And so somehow or another, when they said old, they thought of me. So I did a little interview on how I felt it affected women, and at the time it was pretty scary. I was in college at the time. I was living in a sorority. It was a pretty scary time, but interesting enough,
serial killer of women. They look good. I mean, went around and just lured them in.
Well, that's what it was. I mean, and maybe it had happened before, but at least for my age group, we always kind of thought. I always thought the boogeyman was going to be somebody that wore those trench coats and flashed it, had no teeth.
You like to get flashed,
and looked like really scary. But when Ted Bundy came along, he looked normal, and he was in law school, and he was educated. He's the kind of guy that it would have been too calm for me because apparently he had a very mild manner. But somebody who would meet and not be threatened by it all, and then want to go out with or take, the kind of guy you take home your mom. And I think it forever changed. I said this earlier, the face of evil, forever. For me.
And Greg
well, we discussed that. Well, it was, he used it too. He said that too. But the reality was that it forever made us have to stop and think that evil can come in a happy face. It doesn't have to be scary.
You keep looking at me.
Evil can come in a normal looking. Well, you don't look normal. No, I would have been afraid of you. There's no chance to be a serial killer. They'd run. But you're. But it's kind of interesting. And then come to find out after the interview aired, a girl that I went to high school with got in touch with each other, and she had met him. And he wanted to pick her up in the morning, take her to breakfast, and take her out for a photo shoot. She's a little pretty girl.
Oh my God!
And of course, some in her head said, "I'm not going to do this. I don't know this guy." And it turns out that was here in Colorado, and that's exactly what he did when he killed the girls here. Said he would take them on a photo shoot. So if she would have gone, she would have been a victim. So that's got to be freaky all these years later. Yes. All these years later, and it's been 30 years since he died.
And there's women that do this too. There's women killers.
There's very few.
No, there's a lot.
No, there isn't.
Yes,
they're smarter than men and they don't get caught. but
yeah,
most of these people are white, good-looking, white, middle-class, normal-looking white men. I mean, you hardly ever see them if they're not white. Have you ever seen one that wasn't? I haven't. It's like, you're better off, if you get scared, run up to somebody that looks really ugly. You're probably safe.
You're probably safe.
Well, hey, you know what? Women run up to you all the time. Oh, I'm safe.
You got that right, though.
Yeah. But
it's true.
It's just creepy anymore. I don't know. The world. Want to know my theory? I have a conspiracy theory. You want to hear it, everybody? Yes, we do. That's a crowd for a while. Yes, we do. My conspiracy theory is that if you believe in God, that the rapture happened 1,000 years ago, and we are all descendants of the people who were left behind, and that's why the world is so screwed up.
You think the world is screwed up?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh come on!
Oh no!
Oh please! You know what I saw yesterday?
What?
I saw a car driving down the street. There's 3 kids in it. None of them are in car seats, and they were little, 6, 4, 3. And they're flying around like the Walendas in the back seat. And I'm like, the hell, we're on the highway. One's climbing over to get mom's lap. 2 of them are jumping around fighting. And in the window around the rearview mirror is a rosary. And in the back window, there's a decal of a person flipping the bird.
Right.
Just a big giant flipper. I was like,
now let's dial it back to our time. There was no seatbelts.
Yes.
And they're big, heavy cars.
But nobody flipped the bird. If you did.
Oh, yeah. And we were jumping back and forth for the seats.
But you didn't have a big decal on your entire back window that was a bird flipping off.
Yes,
your parents weren't trying that. Now your parents were thinking, I'm going to put these kids off.
No, it was, remember?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, with no seatbelts, no helmets.
No, nothing.
And look at how we turned out. It's pretty crazy. I think I'm going to have to start wearing my ski helmet everywhere I go.
And so,
from now on, the winter, when I get out of my car, I'm just going to I never get hurt skiing. I get hurt when I'm walking. Put on my ski helmet, get into the place, and take it off. Maybe excuse me, gotta go?
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, you can go, Henry. Bye. I'll just talk to everybody. I'm going to talk about you. So that Henry. But anyway, guys, the music today, if you catch the music feed, if you don't, I'll put it on later. So Carly Simon's on that. It's a great feed. Lots of fun music. But one of the things I was going to talk about today, when he gets back, is we're going to do the news. We found some really fun news from the Onion, and also some conspiracy theories. So that's what's on the agenda. What do you guys think about everything that's going on with Roger Stone and all of those things? I mean, my goodness, isn't he strange? I don't care if you believe him, don't believe him. He's just a weirdo, isn't he? He's got a tattoo of Nixon on his back. That's like, why? I mean, that's so weird. I mean, you just kind of go, ooh, creepy. And he's got foo-foo dogs. He's got little foo-foo dogs. And I kind of don't trust a man with foo-foo dogs. It's not a man's dog. Now, I trust him if they've been married and their wife made him have a foo-foo dog. But if you've got a foo-foo dog and you're like a guy that's running around, that's weird. It's not a dog. I'm talking about foo-foo dogs.
Foo-foo dogs.
Little dogs like this, a little Pomeranian kind of thing. So what kind of man has that? You do.
No.
The only time you have that, your wife had him, and then you kind of learn to love them because they're so.
No, I've never had a foo-foo.
I like pugs though.
I've never had sissy dogs.
No, me neither. I want big old dogs that are,
I've always had German shepherds, pit bulls, stuff like that.
I have a cattle dog right now. He's sweet.
I had 2 border collies, super good dogs.
They are.
They were
border collie.
Yeah,
they're the smartest dogs, I think.
Yes, I love them.
And so are all that cattle dog stuff, and all the working dogs.
Yes.
That working dog.
I had trouble
keeping
them in the yard.
I'm not quite sure what they are. They're just like.
What do they retrieve?
I don't know. I think they get ducks because they're soft mouth. I think they're like a water retriever, or like a bird, like you shoot quail and your dog goes up. They don't do that out here. We don't have things like quail because we have eagles and hawks and they eat them.
See, like my pit bull, he'd start barking, so we throw a little rock at him, so he got shut up, but he catches the rock and start chewing it.
I have we had English bulldogs most of the time, and they're sweet. They're not at all aggressive, but the English bulldog's grip is 2,400 pounds per square inch in the mouth.
Wow.
And when they grab onto something, they don't let go. Unless they die. And you can't get it out of their mouth.
Wow.
So we used to be able to take a little toy like this, and he would grab on, and my husband would swing the dog, and he would just swing around like this. He would never let go.
Those are fun to play with those dogs.
And you didn't want to get in the fight. They're slow to anger, but boy, oh boy, if they latch on, you're done.
Take your leg off.
No.
What do you got in your mouth? Did you ever see that show with, what's his name? He's a comedian. And he had a pit bull, and the dog came running back with a leg in his mouth. you ever see that show?
Yeah.
It was, Saturday Night.
Oh yeah, I love Saturday Night Live. They're so great.
Good stuff.
They're so good. So I was driving here. I was telling you earlier after the baby shower, and I'm driving here, and all of a sudden my butt's warm. I thought, what did I do? I thought maybe I peed my pants. I'm kind of old. I thought maybe I realized I had the stupid seat warmers on. I was sweating.
Don't ever do the flatulence with the seat warmers. That's the worst.
I don't know what happens.
Oh God.
Henry.
Especially if you're wearing Depends.
That's it.
Do you wear Depends?
Oh, no. I would if I needed to. If I could ski longer.
Yeah, have you seen the commercial?
I didn't have to stop when I was skiing.
They have those Depends for everybody, and or
Oh, I know. Yeah,
and they're.
I mean, if you need them, you need them. I said, it's one of those things. But yeah, we went from edible underwear to Depends. Not the same. Remember those edible underwears? Okay.
Okay. Tell me about them.
No, I'm not going to tell you about it. You have to
the edible underwear. It's here.
I'm not saying a word. I just remember they used to sell them as gag gifts.
Oh, now they're gag gifts. Okay, tell us about the gag gifts.
Well, eat too fast, you gag. I don't know. It's bad.
No, it wasn't. That's funny. It's WTF.
That's right. It is. Wasn't that fantastic? Wasn't that fantastic?
Where's the food?
Where's the food? Where's the fire truck? What the French fry? I'll tell you, I've been saying that a lot. Like, there's so much is going on that I just.
Yeah, there's so much happening in the world today. It's because the more complex the society, the more complex the laws, the more complex everything is.
I know. It doesn't
get these new cars are too complex. I didn't know.
Oh, my friend's got one of those electric. What are those things called? Those electric cars with the big battery underneath, and they're expensive.
Tesla.
Yeah, that's a Tesla. And you get in it, and it's got like a computer screen. There's no key. I don't know if you have to drive it.
You gotta talk to it.
And you can go from 0 to 60 in about that.
So you're caught in a buzz.
You look really great in it because it does this to your face. And so you kind of look like you have a face. I'm like, oh, please drive fast. You look great.
If you're driving in a snowstorm, it looks like you're in a Jedi fighter.
It's the most amazing car I've ever seen, but it's fun to be in. But it's literally, you can feel I'm like, I look 10 years younger than Tesla. Oh.
Teslas are good cars.
Oh, no, they're cool. I wish I could afford one, but I can't.
You
use it if I work here.
You can't. You can't.
I can't. Sure.
They got some inexpensive ones. $34,000.
Well, that's not bad compared to what cars cost.
Yeah, the real expensive ones, the big ones are. Yeah.
I was in that race car one.
Mm-hmm.
That
the $80,000 one.
Yeah, I don't know. It was the one that was the race car one. And then my friend has a one that's also like the more sedan.
Yeah, those are.
But they're all wonderful. I mean, even that one outbeat any car I've ever seen. So I was going to tell you about a couple of. Let's do a little bit of news here. A little bit of some conspiracy theory. But depressed groundhog, and this shows you how bad the society is. This depressed groundhog sees shadow of the rodent he once was. He's no longer.
Are groundhogs considered rodents?
They are all those things. Squirrels are just rats with a tail.
Yes.
I mean, they're all like that. Rabbits, too.
They're pretty tails.
Rabbits are rats with big ears and tails.
And prairie dogs.
Prairie dogs, all that stuff. It's like, ew.
They're edibles, right?
Well, somebody eats them, I guess, like wolves or something, or coyotes.
Okay. Coyotes love them.
I mean, I don't like any of that stuff. I don't even like squirrels. My mother hated butterflies. I like butterflies.
Oh, butterflies.
She hates them. She used to say that they were just worms with wings.
That's true.
They're just worms with wings. Get away. But anyway, so depressed groundhog sees shadow of the rodent he once was. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. According to sources, clinically depressed groundhog and weather predictor Punxsutawney. What's that? Punxsutawney. I couldn't say it. Punxsutawney Phil awoke from his slumber this early morning, peered directly into his soul, and saw the mere pathetic shadow of the rodent he once was, and went back into the ground to stay.
Oh my God!
How do you like Groundhog Day?
I never liked that.
I know. I got it mixed up when I was little.
Groundhog determine what is what in weather.
I see all these holidays mixed up when I was little, and I went to Catholic school. One time they asked me what Easter was, and I said, I think that's when Jesus came out, saw a shadow, went back in for 3 days. And then they were like, no, wrong.
That's when the priests and the nuns used to have their heyday, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, when I went to Catholic elementary school, they were tough. You didn't mess around.
Another way.
No, you did not mess around with those people. They were like a ruler, like this long. They hit the bell, the ruler. I don't know. I never could figure it out.
They like sadism.
The nuns were mean.
Yes.
They were just plain. I mean, it's like
because they were getting none.
Yeah, that's right. None, get none, have none. The one nun, something. I don't know. They were
beat
very,
the hell out of you.
I know they would, wouldn't they?
Get it? Beat the hell out of you.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was the philosophy. Beat the hell out of them. We'll be fine. You sit there.
What Catholic school did you go to?
Well, I went to St. Pat's when I was real little in Illinois. And then I went to St. Anne's here.
St. Anne's.
I went from 3rd grade to 6th grade, and I begged every day.
My wife went to St. Joseph.
Oh, okay. And then I begged every day to get out. Every day I tell her.
She still tries to use all this stuff on you. It doesn't work.
And you know, the creepiest part was they would tell you, remember mortal? Let's have that. That'll be a good discussion. Mortal and venial sin.
I always thought that was meat.
I know. What is that? But mortal sins.
Give me a venial sandwich.
Sins that if you die with the mortal sin on your soul, you are just go to hell immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Right? Right? I mean, that's it. You're done. That's like breaking the 10 Commandments. There's a few other things in there, but that's pretty much it. Then the venial sins were like little white lies. Like, you know, I don't know, like you'd be late for school and your mom would say, where were you? And you say, the bus was late, but really you were talking to a friend. You know, because I don't think you actually go to hell for that kind of lie, do you?
I don't think you go to hell for anything.
Really? I mean, I can't imagine going to hell for like
anything.
That kind of a little bitty lie, or like when you tell somebody, like a friend says, "How do I look?" And you don't want to
made up this huge story.
And
hell and fire and brimstone.
And you go, well, you look great, but you know, like you really know they don't. And so I can't imagine, like you get up there and well, let's see. You did this and you did that, and you believed in me, and you helped the homeless, and you cured polio, and but you told your mom she looked good when she didn't. Bam, gone.
You're done.
You're done.
Oh my Lord!
I don't believe that stuff.
But who made this big, huge story up?
Well, the popes did.
They made these stories up.
Well, a lot of them. Yeah. Don't you think?
I don't know where all this stuff came from.
I don't know either. It's too hard. Venial sin, mortal sin.
It sounds like
don't eat fish on Friday. Now, I mean, I grew up. I could not eat fish on Friday, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to hear it. Then all of a sudden, I could eat fish on Friday. So if I died before 1964, I'd eat fish on a Friday. I'd go to hell. But now I get to go to heaven.
You can't have the fish fry?
Doesn't matter.
What if that's all there was to eat?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Eating cows. Now here's another thing about eating cows. What about milk out of a cow? Now that's for baby cows. Why are we drinking milk out of a cow that's made for that makes for baby cows?
And we're one of the only societies that continues to drink milk after being a baby. Most societies don't drink milk. They use it for cooking and things like that. But they don't. Our culture does. That's which is kind of weird. I don't know.
I think so.
I think it's because of men's obsession with boobs. You guys are completely obsessed.
That's the thing I don't want. I just can't stand that.
Do you ever have that happen? I put breast milk in the refrigerator, your husband come along and puts up the coffee and says, that's great. I'm like, that's the breast milk, honey.
You think men are obsessed with breast?
I do.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. I'd show you, but I can't. Yeah, I definitely think so.
I love that one, Brenda. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I don't think so.
I think men are just obsessed in general.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah. Come on, I know you. Yeah, ask Pearl. Where's your wife? Bring her in here. She'll tell us.
She'll tell us. He's possessed.
They are possessed people.
You think so?
Listen, if there hadn't been women that came out to the West, and the West would have never been settled. I mean, if you look at every culture, until the women arrive, they're all lunatics, killing each other, doing all this stuff. There's no schools. They don't care. They're drinking. They're gambling.
But you're absolutely right.
And then the women come out there, and then they say you can't have any more fun.
No. They don't say that. They come and they get crazy on us.
And then
women always hound us. They always try to put their boobs on us. They always try to kiss
Cheryl.
us.
Hi, Cheryl.
They always try to corner us and make us fall in love with them. They try to do all these corny things.
Make you fall in love. How do you make somebody fall in love?
It's easy with your boobs.
That's it.
Well, that's what you were talking about. They got all mellow after you women came to the West. Some hairy story you made up. Well, yeah, after a while they're like,
but it isn't until the women.
Yes, dear. No, dear. And she's got a pair of boobs in his face. Yes, dear. No, dear.
Yes, dear. No, dear.
Well, that's the windshield wiper.
Oh, God. Stop it. But what I was okay, that's enough. What I was going to say is that's enough. You go too far. Too far. But really, truly, in society, it doesn't settle down until women come on the scene because they bring that sense of we need art and education and music and
then you start trying to kiss us and hug us and corner us and make us marry you and then you
we do that.
Then I'll show you what you're made of, man, and you get us and
we chase you till you catch us.
Yeah, and then you reduce us down to this little tiny creature this big. And we're done.
Oh, that's it, right? Oh my God.
They call them babies.
So what do you think about Super Bowl coming up?
Super Bowl. Well, usually we have a Super Bowl at our house. We'll make like beans, or we'll make. Did you say Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Oh.
It's not a big toilet bowl. It's a Super Bowl.
Did you take that stadium they're having? Super Bowl? It's like $2 billion to build that thing. Who has that kind of money?
Well, obviously those players.
No,
the owners.
The owner. I mean, where did that owner get all that money?
People spend a lot of money. I mean, look what it costs to go to a game. It's a fortune.
What do you go to the bank? They do. I need to borrow $2 billion.
Yeah, they probably didn't borrow it. They probably had it.
You think?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Where'd you get it from?
The ticket sales, the TV revenue, all of that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But what do you think of the game? Who do you think's going to win?
Both the last two games, did you hear about how bad they were officiated? And I think both those teams are supposed to be there.
But then they'll be evenly matched if they both weren't supposed to be there, so it'll be a good game.
Right.
So I mean that's.
I think the Rams going to beat them. All they got to do is just beat up Brady.
Yeah.
Keep getting the Brady pound on pound.
If they get through to it. If they can get through it.
If
they can get through to Brady, yeah, that's the key.
That's the Broncos.
Yeah.
He came in and collapsed it.
He's amazing, though. I have to say this. I'm not a Patriot fan, but I'm probably going to root for him because
what
I am because
what do you know all the people that are in the Rams? Do you know all the players that are there? No, they're all
they're ex, aren't they?
Yeah. That's
like loving your ex-husband.
No.
Screw that.
You're going to screw him?
No.
He said, screw that.
Screw that. That's the. I would
look
like.
What John Elway got rid of. Now look at all the players in the city.
I know because they had bad coaching. But
they had a bad general manager named John Elway.
Yeah, that's true.
He got rid of them all. And look where they're all at.
But anyway,
Khalid is going to make the final play in that.
You think so? I'm going to root for the Patriots because here's why. I never was a fan of Brady, but I can't get over how old he is, and he's still doing it. And for football, he's pretty darn old. So I think that I'm going to root for him just because I like the old guy. You got to go again.
I got to go again. I'm not wearing my.
Who are you waiting for? Who's down there? The drug dealer? What is this? He keeps going outside.
Those women that want to kiss him.
Oh, it's those women. Yeah, right. They're probably going to hand you a subpoena. You're going to come back and hide. No, there's no Henry here. He's knocking on the door. But anyway, so I think that Tom Brady, because of his age and because of what he's done, I'm going to root for him. And then I know a lot of people root for the Rams because it is filled with ex-Bronco players. But I think it's like the Cheater Bowl anyway, because none of them would have got there unless they, I shouldn't say that. Obviously it was the worst call never made that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. And let's just see what happens. I do think that they'll probably even be matched. And I am going to go for the Patriots just because, also because my friend Debbie Reed is a huge Patriot fan, and since Broncos aren't in, I'm going to support her Patriots. But who's this? Oh, Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. How are you? Nice seeing you. Sue Weaver. I think I saw Lynn Turnbull on there earlier. Hi, guys. I'm just waving, to everybody that's showing up on the video feed. And I want to say thanks and hi to everybody in the international camera. We've got tons of you on there. We've got people from Spain, Italy, Norway, Russia. It's amazing. China. Let's see where else. Australia. I mean, we've literally got people listening from all over the world. And to all of you people listening all over the world, I'm sorry. I say that all the time. I'm sorry. We're working really hard. We're hoping to become good global citizens again. This might take us a couple years to do it. So hang with us. Anyway, I want to say hi to all those folks and tell you to keep tuned in. Let's see what's on the radio side here right now. Take a check on it. Oh, it's weird conspiracy theories and fake news. There we go. That's what's up on the radio side. So we should probably do weird conspiracy theories and fake news right now.
Sure. And thank you for letting me go to the restroom.
Yeah, that's good. I wanted you to go. We want you in here peeing your pants. Oh, you can hear this? I don't think you can hear it.
Nearly 13 years after shooting prominent Texas attorney and political donor in the face, former Vice President Dick Cheney told reporters Thursday he had finally hunted down 91-year-old Harry Whittingham and killed him in cold blood. Said Cheney, "Not a day goes gone by when I haven't regretted my failure to take out that son of a gun on a hunting trip back in '06. But old Dick can sleep easy tonight now that he's gone down to Austin with a shotgun and finished the damn job," said Cheney, who reportedly spent more than a decade painstakingly tracking every move the 91-year-old made before kicking in his door and shooting him while he slept. "Just had to wait low and bide my time. And now I nailed him. Now I nailed him." Press time sources confirmed Cheney was having the man's disembodied head mounted and hung over the mantelpiece in his Virginia home next to his other trophy kills.
Oh, Cheney finally kills the guy.
Anyway, have you seen the movie Cheney or Vice? Have you seen the movie Vice? It is actually a great movie, and of course you got to take it with a grain because it is Hollywood, but it's scary, and there's enough of it that's probably real that makes it real scary. Might want to check it out. And now, on to our next story. This just in, Pitbull mix only bites off half of a toddler's face. And now, here's psychic Svengala Uktor with your horoscope. If you're born between June 20th and February 18th, low-risk mutual funds and taxes and mutual funds might seem like a safe, but then picking a racehorse solely based on its name is never a way to go. What's that mean? You need to figure that out yourself, stupid. Pisces, that's February 19th to March 20th. You'll be torn between two equally worthy suitors. One who is kind, selfless, outgoing, supportive, and loving, and one who is actually attractive. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Tell me what I've got going on. I'm a Gemini. Let's see, what do I have going on? Gemini, May 21st to June 20th. Attempts to run away from the problem will fail this week when the problem turns out to be a short-circuited treadmill. Good thing I stay away from exercising, right? Jeez.
That was Svengala Upta, our new psychic. You like Svengala Upta?
Svengala Upta.
Svengala Upta. She's the new psychic. We're going to be doing horoscopes and psychotic. Actually, she's a new psychotic on the show.
Yeah, bring her on.
Yeah, I'll bring her
talk
on.
to her.
Okay, Svengala
Or just
Upta.
catch him to me and let's.
Okay, we'll do that. Upta. Svengala Upta.
Svengala Upta.
And she's our new psychotic, and horoscope. It's kind of odd though. My horoscopes are weird. It's like what? So I'm gonna look here and see what was going on.
Now you're talking about Dick Cheney.
Oh, Dick Cheney,
was that
the
a really
movie, Vice.
good movie?
Yeah, it's great.
It's called Vice.
Vice. And of course, it's a movie, so everything is exaggerated. You can't believe anything.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They're really close to how they put it.
What?
Those men in that office were absolutely crazy.
Yes, I believe that. I think, but I do
people.
believe it also is Hollywood, so they took a little license with that.
No.
But I do think that he was a pretty crazy dude. My mother knew him. She knew Dick Cheney. She worked for his brother in a solar energy company, and he was on the board of directors. And she, as a secretary, not as a member of the board, had to go in and take notes. And when he was with George Bush as vice president, I remember listening, what a beep! And he was a real jerk. But the brother was wonderful, by the way, and had a solar company, and they still have it together. She wasn't real fond of him. And I wonder why.
It seems like the people who are real jerks, who are real mean and stuff, they're the ones who become wealthy because they run over everybody.
Well, I guess to some extent there's a truth to the fact that to get there, you kind of have to be a little bit ruthless. Yeah, I think whenever you see anybody that's really successful, 90% of the time they had to be brutal. They had to be brutal. They had to be for themselves.
Is that why you're so successful?
That's it. That's why I've got $300 in 2 banks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I'm really successful.
That's pretty darn
That's
good.
right. That's right. But I think you have to be a little selfish.
Did I tell you I won on the lottery? Did I tell you?
$1? $2.
But I want everybody to keep it quiet right now because we want to have the family.
We want to have to pay taxes on it.
I want nobody to pay, be bothering us on this very special.
There was a story years ago about somebody who thought they won the lottery and they bought everybody drinks in a bar and they did all the stuff and they went in and were one number off. They weren't right and they were broke.
Yeah. And there's those who do win the lottery.
And then they go broke anyway.
Yeah. They spend all this money.
When I was at Channel 7, we did a feature series on lottery winners like 10 years later that have won more than $1 million. At that time, lotteries weren't like 100 million; they were like 1 million, 2 million. Paltry.
Well,
And,
my brother went to go spin the wheel for the.
Oh, really? That's
He
cool.
won 5,000. Missed it.
Oh, God, that's so cool.
He just had to tick one more time in the world.
And so they did a story on him, and most of the people, they did a story on 20 people they followed up with them across the country. And only one of those 20 people said they were better off after winning the money. Only one.
And you said you were at Channel 7, that's where you went to go spin the wheel?
Yeah, they used to do
go in
that.
the studio and spin the wheel?
And that was a fun job. I was a creative services marketing manager there. It was a great job. I loved it. You get to put all the creative stuff together, you know, the promos.
Yes,
and
that's fun.
Marketing. I love that. Actually, I loved all the time that I spent working in those fields.
Yeah, you've done a lot of things in your life. You know, there'd be a time, because I've told everybody I'd like to bring in each individual BDJ that has a show here and do up close and personal with everyone, to kind of find out who you really are.
Oh,
A lot of people don't know. And just rattle on of all the stuff you've done, except that other stuff that you've done.
Oh, yeah, you can't talk about that.
And be in the backseat and all that stuff.
Yeah,
the sorority house.
Yeah, can't talk about that. Let's see, what can I talk about? Not much. I've been very fortunate to work for and have some of the most wonderful jobs.
And be around some great people.
And be around some great people in my life. I mean,
doesn't it seem like
most
all
of
the
the
cameras
jobs
come around you?
I know, so much fun.
Grip.
Most of my jobs, there's been a couple, but the majority of the places I worked, I would have worked for free. They were so wonderful to be a part of. And there was a couple who shall remain nameless that just wasn't my cup of tea. Just didn't fit in with them. You know, they weren't fun.
That's where it always goes wrong. If you're in a job and it's not a lot of fun, that's where it's.
You got to
really
spend so much
job.
of your life doing it. You better find something you love. I loved every minute that I was in radio, except my last stint. I didn't like when I was at CBS. Did I say that?
You didn't do all those porno videos all the time, did you?
No.
Just kidding. That's all the WTF show.
It really is it. But I loved Kim. It was wonderful. Cool was fun. I mean, those were all great stations. Radio Disney when I was there, that was wonderful. And even Sassy and Martini, although it was a short-lived station, it was a really fun station.
Yeah, some of the stations that have been, there's been a few that's come and gone, but like there was K-Talk, you know, the K-Talk radio.
Yeah.
And they did real well, and then they kind of faded. And KBPI, they were doing real good, and they kind of, I don't know, they kind of changed.
Yeah. KBPI, remember that commercial is still the best radio commercial I've ever seen. The mouth, KBPI, Rockies, and they play all the music out of the mouth. It was awesome.
Yeah, somebody brainstormed that one, and that just hit.
Yeah, it just hit. What do you think is going to happen with Roger Stone and? Obviously he's vying for a pardon.
Yes.
It's clear. He must have done something really bad because he's thinking over and over. You know, most of them are probably thinking, well, okay.
This is the way he came out.
I'll talk and then I'll get a light sentence. He's thinking there's no such thing as a life sentence for what I've done, so I better start playing up to Trump.
Yeah, so he came out and he was doing this to it.
Oh, what the hell? Do this with Nick.
Yeah, you saw that. What the hell?
Why would that be seriously? That's the last person. If I was in trouble for impeachment for lying in Congress and lying, you would be doing this because this is the symbol of the biggest liar that ever lived. It's like, oh my God. That's like saying, let's see. That would be like saying, oh, I'm not here to take over your city. My last name is Napoleon. It's like, no.
You've seen that too.
And then he's got a picture of him on his back. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And then people got mad because they said it was overkill that all these people went into the house to get him. And I don't think it was, and I'll tell you why. Since he was not, obviously I don't think the investigation was done with what they were going to ask him, and giving somebody warning, like when you say, okay, you can turn yourself in at 10 o'clock, means they're done, they have all the evidence. If they go in like that, it means they want things out of the house that if you gave them warning, they could destroy.
That's right. Good one. So they want to have everything protected.
Yeah, so, I don't think we should give anybody warning.
No.
They should be answer the door, and there it is. Yes. What?
Or just come on a surprise visit.
Yeah, that's because who wouldn't destroy it? If I was in trouble, I'd destroy everything.
You got that down.
I would. I'd take the computers, they'd be beat up and burnt and put in, buried somewhere. But why would you? So if you have notice, you're going to get rid of something. So I think to me that makes normal sense in procedure. You go in like that. And plus, he had those little dogs, those little foo-foo guard dogs that could have killed him. Have you seen those things? They're mean, like little child wow-wows or something.
I've never understood those little tiny dogs.
I don't know how they get them. Dogs start out being wolves. How do they end up like that? Yeah. Like that, yeah. I mean, I saw something on Facebook, like this dog said, "Oh, I'm hungry. I think I'll go up to that fire and see if they'll feed me." 10,000 years later, boom, there's a Pomeranian. You know? What the hell? I'd stay away from them too. No,
That's funny.
God, I know, but really, seriously.
No, that's true. That's true.
What do you got going on this week?
Oh, not much actually.
Not much?
No.
Not really? Not much? I don't trust him.
I don't trust him. The way he's just the way he's talking.
Nothing. You're going, nothing. We were talking.
Like Ted Bundy, right?
Yeah.
Why? Want some candy, little girl?
God. I mean, I can't believe it's been, I think, 30 years since the conviction and 40.
I can't believe he broke out here in Colorado.
Well, and some of the victims here, obviously. But, yeah, I know up in Aspen. I mean, people break out a lot. I mean, you don't realize it, you don't hear about it, but people are actually a lot skinnier people than me. I'd be stuck there. Okay, or a little fat one in the cell. She can't get out. She can be in the cell with the grate. I mean, they get out of grates the size of my computer screen.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what the heck?
How'd you get through there?
They have to be a contortionist. You know,
because the last time I broke out, I cut both the ankle bracelets that I wore. They put these other ones that I have on now.
Oh, you know what happens if they catch you without your ankle bracelet? They give you the anal probe. It stays up there.
That's why I had to go check it.
Because
I went downstairs. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were just recharging it.
Yeah, so you have to get out, right? Get while you can. You don't want that. You know? They'll be thinking that an alien captured you.
Captured me?
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you been seeing that series? I don't know what it's on. I think it's on History Channel. The Blue Book, the Blue Book Chronicles or whatever. You watching that?
No.
That's pretty amazing. It's about the papers that they released from the Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
And Roswell and all of that. And so they took that directly to the notes of the doctor they hired to prove that these things weren't aliens, except that they kind of started thinking they were. And so anyway, it's interesting because you can see the explanations. Some make sense, some don't. You can, and of course it's a movie, so they take liberties with it. But it's a great series. I like it.
Now, the thing is, when the government was shut down, I wanted to go visit Area 51. It was shut down.
But that was one of the areas. They probably had guards on there.
Yeah, but it was shut down. So,
they'd probably grab you. There's another one! God,
the illegal one.
Look at that one.
He's illegal.
Yeah, that's probably what's in there. That's probably the cage with all the illegal children. That's where they got him. They threw him up there in Area 42 or 51. 42, that's the illegal children.
A friend of mine, I went back down to New Mexico to the area where that joint spacecraft
yeah, outside of Roswell.
Yes, and she moved back there, and she wrote a book about it, and she wants to go back and finish it up. So, I want to get her in here, or maybe even do a live video.
Well, that'd be fun. I'd love to talk to her.
Yes.
My husband went to college outside of there, and he says, I've seen him. Whenever anybody says that, they either get stupid or they are stupid. When my husband talks
they're taking too many opiates.
Yes. When my husband talks about it, like in normal conversation, he'd be like, blah, blah, blah. When he talks about this, he's like, I've seen him. They was in the sky. They had light.
Hey, ship fire and say matches.
And I said, I think really what it was experimental aircraft of our own making. You don't think so? Or Russians?
No, because I've seen the cable. No, I've seen the cable channel on this actual spacecraft that they have, and it was too bizarre of the equipment they had on board. It was just out there. They talked about how they got matter and antimatter into this little tube.
Do you think our scientists can do that?
That's what they were trying to understand, and that's what power got did. And they had this cover over the top of it, so when it goes at super speed, it would go back and forth.
Oh,
they explained it all. It was too out there.
Wow.
It was way out there.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think we're alone in this world.
I can't.
I can't believe we're the only ones.
I think you're one of them.
You got me. You got me.
We're going to do the probe. We're going to do the probe.
Nope. But I mean, they are. I do think that we're not alone.
I'm with you.
I think there's a lot of them, And I think we've been visited many times.
Many times.
I think the pyramids. I mean,
right here on 84th, they actually captured footage of one female.
Seriously?
Yes, and then what they did is this guy happenstance ran across with the video camera system. So he called the news people out, Channel 31, and they captured it too, but they captured it away.
Yeah, because you get in trouble.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.
Oh.
So that she went and captured it. Then on Monday Night Football game, I was watching it in the background. I was seeing this thing zipping back and forth.
That was a running back. It was really fast.
No, it was up in the sky, and it was like, they've got it on YouTube also. And I was like, what was that on Monday Night Football? And everybody saw it. It was like,
well, I'll tell you what. There are so many things that we can't explain, and I definitely think we're not alone. I believe that there is life out there. And I think they visit us. And
do they visit you?
I had one for coffee the other day, and it came. No.
He comes in.
It's an alien, honey. It's a probe. It's not my fault. I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
Hun, really? You had to take me out for a bit. I feel great now, though.
But I do think that they visited us. God, we're shot. We're shot.
It's okay.
We're just off the wall as usual. Look at there's another drug deal coming.
So, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, who is this? Who keeps calling you?
I gotta go to the
I want the truth.
I will. I'll tell you when I get back.
Okay, tell me you get back. So, I was talking to somebody about our marijuana stores today. I don't know, and some of the people don't live here, they're watching, but they have the weirdest names. I've done a show on this before, but I drive by them and I just crack up because they're like the joint. It's like, they're so funny. But you go in there, and the thing that I think is the funniest, look, there's somebody out there calling Henry. So the phone's going to just keep ringing because he left his phone here. I'm just going to look in there. Anyway, you go in there and there's some guy with like red, talks like a, okay. And you see people go in there and say, I have cancer, and I'm wondering if you can tell me what kind of pot I should smoke. He's like, oh yeah, like you should do. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, it's fun to go there for fun. It's okay that CBD oil is like a miracle. It does help you sleep. It might help with seizures a little bit, but to trust that over a doctor when you've got it is crazy. You gotta go to the doctor. The doctor's got to tell you it's okay. So, but anyway, the stores have the craziest names. Let's say the Joint. I'm telling some of the names of the marijuana stores that were so funny that we saw.
Oh, all the good ones.
Oh yeah, Happy's. There's that one.
There's all kinds.
I like Starbuds. That's my favorite.
Starbuds is a really good.
Starbuds.
And so, how good is this stuff there?
It's really good. It's across the street from my house. It's like not across, but it's like every day I pass Starbuds 4 times a day. If you're somebody trying not to smoke marijuana, it's like
you can't do it, right?
Yeah, but it's pretty funny. And they have medical there, and they have
medicinal.
Medicinal, and they also have recreational.
And I don't know
what the difference is. Who's making that promo? It's so good. This is my song. This is my song all through school. Don't know much about history.
We used to go to the sock hop and jam out with all the chicks.
Really?
Yeah.
Because girls wouldn't date you, had to resort to chickens?
You put the little yellow chickens down there. Boy, that sounds great.
Oh, God, you are shot today.
Well, you asked me.
I just said you had to date chickens.
You said I did date.
Or dogs.
I wouldn't put a dog down there.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Yes, my child.
Yeah, forgive you. You sinned. We know you've sinned. Bad. What's your favorite song from that era? This is one of them. This is one of mine.
This is one of them.
And this might be one of mine.
I love this.
Turn it up. Let's crank it up here.
I can relate to this.
I know. I was actually smart.
How many boys did you date in high school?
I don't know.
Come on, level with us.
I don't even know.
How many aliens?
Oh, a lot of those.
They're probing? I'm sorry.
You're stuck on the probe thing. I should have brought it up.
That was so funny.
I should not have brought it up.
It's your fault.
Several.
Rhonda,
I dated several. Several boys.
At the same time?
No. Well, I did actually have a couple that I dated at the same time.
Did they get mad?
No, because back then you dated. It wasn't like you went on one date and you were stuck with the same guy. You went on a date, and then next weekend you went with another date, and then you went with another date.
And you kept going with all these
And then
different dates.
eventually you might go with somebody 2 or 3 times and decide to go steady. And that was it. And then you go steady with that person.
When you go steady with them, what is it that you're going to do? You like them more?
Well, you just go date that one. That's your only.
What is it that brought out the best in you when you were dating?
Well, if they like humor. If they didn't like humor, they didn't get me. It was over.
So they say anybody who has humor with them, they're joke after joke after joke, then boom, you're naked. Oh.
That's it. Right. Joke after joke. I was just trying to.
I love this song.
Too hot. I love this song.
At 17 we fell high school sweethearts. Love was so brand new.
Oh, listen to you, Henry. There you go.
Talked about
Now that everybody's jumping off. We're like, oh, geez, time to go. That guy's singing.
I know how to sing.
I know you do. You're in a band.
Yes.
Good band, too.
This is one of the songs I sing.
Well, turn it up loud. Sing. There we go. Isn't that a great song? Oh, Henry.
I remember how we made our way.
A little patience.
Time we
This is a great song. That's a great song.
Yeah. Ronnie, you brought in some great music. You brought in some great jokes.
Listen, if they
You are on fire.
I don't know if I've read great jokes. We've kind of made idiots.
And then I love that you're on Channel 31, Channel 2. This is your second. Of course, I'm always putting on because I don't want to do it.
My second show today. Yeah, it was a media week for me.
Isn't it? It's nice. And you always find yourself behind the camera.
Yeah,
You notice that?
I don't know.
I always see you, your pictures, your photos, your selfies, all those things. You're around a lot of nice people.
I'm very fortunate. I get to spend a lot of time with some great people.
What was some of the worst ones you did? Don't look at me like that.
The worst people I ever met. The worst person, Johnny Rivers.
John
Sucked.
Rivers.
He was pretty bad. Diana Ross sucked.
Seriously?
Yeah. She was really a diva. So from a celebrity point of view, Jerry Lee Lewis was the most entertaining that I've ever met and the weirdest.
Jerry Lee Lewis,
Yeah.
I remember him. He was great.
I'm trying to think. I think that would probably be the top of my list in terms of celebrities. The nicest I ever met were the Dixie Cups.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were wonderful. Some of the Disney girls that sang like Aguilera and Backstreet Boys and those people.
Well, what about, you did
They
a
were
lot of things with Kim and stuff. Remember those things? Some of the events and some of the things you would make up to do. The car smash. Did you do that?
We used to do the most insane things at that radio station. and just Steve Kelly when he would do all of his stunts, like watch every window and everything. Pogo stick across the state of Colorado, sit in every seat in Mile High Stadium.
Didn't he do something on top of a billboard?
Oh yeah, he sat the billboard for I don't know a week or something, a month.
Had to strap himself up, people falling over.
And all that kind of stuff. But those are the days. That was the heyday of really the old AM radio station. The last of it.
Right.
It was the last of a dying era. You could do those things. We gave away a car a day for 30 days. We used to build haunted houses. The Kim Street in the Dark haunted houses. That was, all those things. I mean, they were wonderful. And we had concerts, and the artists would come into the studio, and we could meet them. And it was just fun. I met Joan Rivers, who was absolutely the nicest woman on earth.
Joan Rivers,
I love Joan.
Yeah, because she was witty, she was fast and quick, and she was just laughing.
She was my very favorite.
And if she'd mess up, she'd clean it up
And she
with
was as
another
sweet
joke.
as she could be to you as a low person, like not somebody that's a celebrity kind of person.
She just laughed and enjoyed you.
She was kind and generous. Cher, she was wonderful.
When Joan Rivers went for a facial or something, and something happened.
Yeah, she went in for some work, and apparently there was a breathing situation and a reaction to it. But it was, she was a very, very nice person. Remember that guy that did all the exercising in the 80s with the big hair, curly hair, Richard? Anyway, he was nice. And then Robbie Benson came in once. He was pretty nice.
So you've seen and been around all these big stars.
Well, yeah. A lot of them. I mean, because they come in the station, then you have to bring them into the studio. And, I wasn't interviewing them, but
still, you're around.
Yeah, you bring them in, or I'd hire them to be at the concert or to do the show with us. And, you get to meet a lot and be around it. And some of them were pretty funny, and some were nice, and some were not nice.
One thing though, did you get any autographs?
I do have a few. I mostly have photos if I could find them.
You
Just
never
take a
got
picture.
it?
Well, you know what? I never really was an autograph hound.
No.
And so, now some people, I would get a picture with them.
Yeah.
And then I have a scrapbook of pictures, with people. But I don't know, I just felt everybody
All
has
those
to.
pictures you made, you want to digitize.
One of
Because
these days
some
I
of those
should.
pictures can get messed up and deteriorate.
But to me, it was like everybody asking that stuff all the time, and I just thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, be the. We did. I'll tell you. What's his name? We did a movie premiere, and not Anthony Quinn, but I can't think of his name now. But he was a very famous actor back in the 50s, a very lead man, like around the time of Anthony Quinn and those folks.
Right.
And we walked in the room, and I was with my aunt, who was a very beautiful woman. At the time, she was probably my age, and so was this star. And he saw her across the room, and he looked and he walked all the way across the room, came up to her and introduced Gregory Peck.
Oh, Gregory
and introduced
Peck,
himself to her. And he said, "Oh, I'm Gregory." My aunt just stood there like,
stunned.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. So we did some of the movie premieres, and that was kind of fun. Met some people that way. And,
Now this
that's
is
one
about
of the
the end of
stations
our
used to
show,
do that.
huh?
Yeah.
You did such a
We
good
had
job
such a
on
great job
yeah.
today. But the music is killer. So
Oh,
I'm
that is.
posting
And
on the
sometimes I
WTF.
like to replay this.
One thing, you can go to WTF Radio Networks and it's just the WTF show, and I will post the music feed today because it is killer. It's killer.
So you're gonna call it a day?
I'm gonna call it a day, go home, and do nothing. Drink. I'm gonna go finish off that bottle of wine. No.
So for now, WTF Show with Ron Deshay.
Hey,
It's been
thanks for
great.
tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great Saturday. This is Ron Deshay, and I'll catch you. Yep, and I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Bye bye.